Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you. Another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks. Sampler V, Series V's I do for a little while now. Go over there and try out food and drink items. I eat the stuff, I drink stuff. Then, folks, I'm going to talk about the stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff that time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not going to lie. I got some pickle to wash out of my mouth, so hopefully this does that job. And no, that's not an innuendo. Ha ha ha! Or is it? No. But anyway, folks, it's a super simple format. I'm going to go over there and I'm going to try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm yammering on about for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm in my back room. Yay, back room review, which means got my Pure Can Thunderbolt poster over there, got my mask up there. You can see that most of the CDs aren't there anymore. There's usually CDs over there, but I'm actually finally organizing them and they're going to be in a different room. Hooray! I'm kind of getting my life together a tiny bit at a time. Just barely. Not really. But anyway, top of all that, folks, what else am I doing? Well, I'm wearing a super cool shirt. And folks, when I wear super cool shirts, I always like to highlight the super cool shirt. What super cool shirt am I wearing today? Boom! It is my Mega Man 10 shirt. I love this shirt a whole bunch. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, my buddy Dan, who doesn't watch my show, so fuck you, Dan, I believe he went over there and got this shirt for me several years ago. I'm a big, big Mega Man fan. I have been ever since I was a little kid. The Blue Bomber, the super fighting robot that he was. I got into the games through the original games. Then I went into the X games, which were just amazing. Moved into Legends, still some of my favorites. That's kind of where I stalled for a long time. Eventually, years later, I would get into like the Zero stuff and everything. Never got into the Battle Network. That was, But, I still love Mega Man. Big, big fan. Anyway, what am I trying for you today, folks? What are we doing here? Like I said, I got to wash pickle out of my mouth. So, I'm reviewing. Boom! It's this. It's an instant noodle thing. I review a lot of instant noodle stuff, partially because I'm just lazy. But I actually have an entire playlist called Ramen Reviews, where this and a whole bunch of other instant noodle reviews end up. This is from Nongshim. It's soon vegan. I don't know how that whole thing works. Kimchi noodles. So if you're unfamiliar with kimchi, it's like a Korean cabbage thing, like a fermented cabbage thing. I've actually reviewed some actual Korean soup. Go watch that review. I did that one a few months ago from a proper little Korean place. I'm down with some kimchi. It's not my favorite thing in the world, but used in the right circumstance, I'm very, very much a fan. So, I don't even remember where I got this, but I got it, and it's been in my cupboard for at least a few weeks, and I finally was like, let's just get it out of the way. So, just pour in some water, 3 minutes, Bob's your uncle, we're good. So, let's go ahead, let's try some kimchi instant noodles. Instant noodle kimchi stuff. And then let's get a thing for the thing. I always like to do this for the thing. Ha 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 ha! Sure. That'll show you the thing. Ha 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 ha! Let's try some stuff. That's real hot. Okay. Noodles taste nice. It seems like one of those things where it's like, they're instant noodles. No. If you're a connoisseur of instant noodles like I am, you'll learn pretty quickly. There are better and worse instant noodles. If you're going the super cheap route, you're gonna get some cheap ass noodles. These are actually pretty good. They got a little bite to them. A little spring back when you go over there and you bite into them. And they actually have some decent flavor. Very hot. Yeah. Noodles are solid. Solid noodles. I'm a fan. I like these noodles quite a bit. One of the benefits typically when you go over there and you get the ones that are actually like from Asia, usually they put a better emphasis on that stuff. Usually. Alright, let's try out some of the broth, because fundamentally that's really what you're going for. The noodles are more just kind of to fill you up. Let's try some of this kimchi broth. Okay. Okay, I can see where they're going with it. I can actually see where they're going with it. I mean, it's obviously not going to be as like striking or vibrant as like proper kimchi soup. Like I said, I mean, the kimchi soup I had again. Please go watch that review. Uh, Man, that was some good stuff. That was some proper stuff, and it just like it hits you in your senses, and like it just was an explosion of flavor. With this, it's not quite that experience, but there is a kimchi element kind of taste to the broth. It is recognizable by even a layman like me. I'm certainly not a kimchi expert, but I've had kimchi enough to be like, yeah, no, that's okay. And other than that, it's nice. It's like a nice little vegetable broth with just kind of an extra hit of kimchi to kind of be the guiding element to it. But yeah, it's pretty nice overall. I think Nongshim. I've reviewed a couple things from Nongshim, maybe even more than that. I forget now. Typically, they do good stuff. This continues on that trend. The noodles taste nice, and I like the broth. And like I said, I feel it's, again, it's not going to be as good as the proper stuff, but I do feel it's evocative enough of what they're trying to go for that I'm willing to give it to them. It's an instant noodle version of it, so yeah. Yeah, it's got that, like I said, kind of a veggie, earthy kind of, uh, cabbage kind of taste. I will say it doesn't have like the same like kimchi. Oftentimes, I'm again not a kimchi expert. Oftentimes, it has a bit of a tanginess to it. I don't wouldn't say there's much tanginess. If there is, there's maybe like a little bit of an acidic hit, but that I think is more just from the broth itself. But it's nice. It's tasty. It's flavorful. Gets the senses. Maybe not stirring, but they're doing a little something something. Two questions have to be asked though. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? I'm gonna go with yes and yes. I mean, it has the added advantage of it's a vegan thing, so if that's your thing, vegan stuff, good on you. Um, but in terms of like, just the flavor itself, like, and I mention this pretty much whenever I do these reviews. I'm kind of doing it for two groups of people. One are people like me who basically are just not good adults, who we kind of rely on this stuff after a hard day at work because, like, I ain't cooking shit when I get home, man. I'm too fucking out of it. Maybe on the weekends if I got a little something extra in me. But for me and my people, I think this is a really good one. I think it's tasty. I think everything about it works really nicely. I wouldn't put it in the upper echelon of instant noodles that I've had, but like it's some good stuff. I would definitely get it again, especially because it offers some added variety. If I've got my cupboard full of stuff, you know, gives it, like I said, just another option. Now, for other people who are like proper adults who probably only occasionally eat these ramen things, maybe in between lunch or something like that, I actually would still recommend this in that instance because it's one of those ones. It's got a nice flavor to it. It's not crazy. It's not like super hot or anything like that. It's got a nice overall flavor to it. It's not a super big bowl, so it's, but at the same time, I still think it would be filling if you just wanted something for a light lunch. And yeah, man, like I said, it has the added benefit of the vegan thing if that's what you're into. So yeah, I think on both accounts, I think I would definitely get this again, and I would absolutely recommend this again for pretty much anybody. I think this is one of those ones where you don't have to be just a goofy, terrible adult like me to enjoy this one. It's actually pretty good, and again, I think it will work nicely as, just a quick little lunch thing. Something to spruce up your options. Anyway, 5 things before we get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of the day, spectacular rest of the week, monumental rest of the month, stupendous rest of your folks. You go over there, have yourselves a truly kimchi-tastic rest of your life. Again, I'm I'm not like Captain Kimchi here, but like at the same time, man, put kimchi in the right circumstances, that's a good time. I'm a happy Brandon Wenzel. Final two things. Number one, try to bring some positivity in the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do if you can't do all the time, I know I can't do all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Folks, it's not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me, I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating and bullshit, and we don't always have super tasty kimchi soup to go over there and, see us through our early morning snackings that we need. Because, well, I mean, it's early. It is the early morning, but for me, this is after work. So, this is my after work snack. Thing is, though, when we do have to deal with those situations in our lives, it's important we go over there, take a step back, try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives, hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, maybe you're going to go over there, maybe you're going to watch this review, and maybe you're going to go over there and be like, hey, what was that other thing he was talking about, that one review he did about the kimchi thing? You're going to go watch my kimchi soup review, because not enough people watched that review. Because not only was I highlighting a local establishment, which I always like to do, but then on top of that, it was super tasty. More people, kimchi soup. Seriously, I think that should be, that should be like more of a regular thing, I feel like. I love soup in general, so, super tasty soup. I'm always going to put that on my back and try to carry it. Kimchi soup's really good. Or, conversely, maybe you've already had kimchi soup, and you're like, Brandon, you're already speaking to the choir. I don't know what you're talking about. I have had all the kimchi soup in the world. Fair enough. Fair enough, Captain Kimchi. All right? I salute you. I submit to your kimchi awesomeness. Anyway, bye.